Common fault with these F-series BMWs, as with some of the old E-series, the light cluster. I don't know if you're going to get a good shot of this, but you have to trust me. Hang on, let's get some light on it. In now, you'll see that pin is completely burnt away. And there's also a melt on the harness. And that will cause one of your lights, depending on what pin, I think this one's an indicator, to stop working. Used to have the same problem on the old E60 BMW 5 series. They haven't seemed to eradicate the problem. On those, they used to give you a harness where they'd ask you to wire the earth wire inside the boot for the chassis. On this particular model, they haven't done that. So all this boot stripping out was a waste of time. You don't need to do that. You've got 2 bolts here, and pull the light forward and it reveals this. What you'll get from BMW is this series of things over here. You get yourself a new cluster, or what they call a bulb holder. You'll get a set of pins to put on the end of your wires that you have to refit inside a brand new plug head, and you'll also get some grommets here which are designed to go at the back of the plug here to stop any water getting in to the plug. So we're going to wire that all up, and we're going to show you how. It's very simple, it's quite obvious. The same wires need to go into the same ports on that harness connector with new pins, and bingo, we're ready to go. Now, on some BMWs and some dealers will supply you short lengths of usually white wire extensions in case you need to cut back, but in this case there's no wiring damage, it's all done at the harness. To do after snipping your wire is just to strip the insulation off it and get your next plug ready that it's going to fit into. Always make sure that they haven't changed anything and everything is lined up, and also make sure that on your new unit that all the pins match up to the existing pins on the wiring, because if they've moved over to a different connector number, you're not going to get any power if you put the pin on the wrong side of the plug. So just very quickly, what you need to do, strip your wire. You've got your green wiring grommets with the holes in. They need to be fed over the wire and pushed up to the top there. Then you put your little metal wiring connector, which are these little things here, onto your wire. That's just one on a board there. You'll see a strip of them underneath here. You put your wiring connector on, obviously putting it on the right way, and slide it into the back of the clip in the right direction so that your securing pins, which are the slightly raised part, are facing this side of the clip. So important to get your grommet on there first. Should look something like that, with that bit ready to go on. So when you've done your first wiring connection, it should look something like that. It should be engaged into the harness like that, with the raised part of the metal pin locking it in place so that the wire can't pull back out, and it should be nicely mated against the front like that. Luckily you've always got your other plug with you at all times to check it, and I strongly recommend you do it a wire at a time so you know where everything goes, although if you leave a little bit on the back of here, obviously it's going to tell you where it goes, and should be all straightforward from here on out. The thing to notice is this purple harness sort of lock, which is designed to lock the pins in place. You push it over at the end of the job. Be careful not to push it over during the job, because I've just been looking at it and I was messing about with the old one, and I've got a feeling that once that locks, you're not getting it off, because they've made this out of a very flimsy piece of plastic at the end, and when you try to pry it out, it breaks off. So be very careful not to put this interlock in place until all your pins are in. But here we are with 2 more to go, and here's our old plug. We're nearly there.